everybody. We are live on a Wednesday. Basketball rules expert. Appreciate everybody joining today. We are poised and ready to go. I'm always excited, but especially excited today. Made some enhancements to the show. The sound quality should be improved. We are constantly working to make the show better experience for my live stream viewers and for the replay viewers. So I've been active over the weekend, getting some things worked out. I did a couple of brief run-throughs on Facebook, the little Facebook Live, just to test some things and make it happen so that I could have a smoother show on the live stream. I'm working hard. I'm working hard over here. I hope everybody had a super enjoyable Labor Day weekend, had a chance to meet with family and friends to whatever degree was safe in your environments. I know I really enjoyed this weekend myself. A lot of time on the couch with a laptop in hand, working on the show predominantly, but I appreciate the time I had and I enjoyed it. Hmm. Marcel says audio and video out of sync. Okay. I'll bet you that's fixed now. Let me know. Radio check 1, 2. Radio check 1, 2. Yeah, so we are looking to, yeah, okay. So something that I was using, a noise canceling feature. Not functioning properly, but we're ready to rock and roll. I can deal with some variables in the show. That I can. Okay, awesome. Stan Bickler. Stan, where are you officiating from? Let me know in the chat. All right. I've been spending a lot of time on the rowing machine. I have a Concept 2 rower. I'm very fortunate to have one. They were very difficult to come by last year during COVID restrictions, shutdowns of factories, and things like that. But I've got one. I've been spending a lot of time on the machine, trying to get my fitness level up. We are ramping up. We've got a season just around the corner. And yeah, so I still need to lose several pounds. But we have an active plan to make that happen and are executing that plan. Jay, good to see you. We are trying to improve. It's the same thing as when we go out on the court as basketball officials. Okay, PA is in the house. Stan Bickler, awesome. Awesome. We need more Palo Alto, Pennsylvania officials. On the live stream. Okay. So today I've spent a lot of time and energy getting the show nailed down, buttoned up, all of the phrases to say that it's tight, it's optimized, all of these things. Didn't spend a lot of time on preparation of questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some questions from the past. We're just, assortment of 10 questions or so. And then after the show, after I terminate the show, then we'll have like 3 bonus questions afterwards for the live stream viewers. Again, it's the review questions, but at this point, for experienced basketball officials, everything's a review question, right? So that's what we've got. So I am just going to bang Jukaby. Nice. Jukaby Russell, Indianapolis. We do not have a lot of Indiana officials on these calls. What the heck is up with that? All right. So I am going to bang through the show, right? So my goal in producing a live stream is to have a very effective live stream, engagement, etc. A community of officials getting together and talking about plays and what have you. So that is an objective. But in the end, I'm going to end up with a 90-minute live stream that I need to get down, edited into a shorter version. And so the optimization things that I do really help in the editing process. Editing is very time consuming, depending on the level of precision you want. And back in the day, a couple of years ago, when I was producing 5-Play Fridays, they were extremely edited and crafted and there was a very labor intensive thing, right? So we're out of that cycle. We are relying more on live stream and just turning on the camera and going. But in the end, we do need to edit that down. So many of the optimization things that I've done help enhance the ability to edit effectively and quickly, so we can, spend less time behind the scenes and more time in front of the camera. So that's my goal. So we have made things happen here, and I am going to now move to the rundown. Our live schedule, every Wednesday, Basketball Rules Expert Live. We look at play scenarios, National Federation of High School Basketball Rules, adjudicate the plays by rule. A lot of, rules-based emphasis in that show. 5-Play Friday, we're going to look at video plays, analyze whether the call was correct, incorrect, correct official made the call, positioning of the crew, all of the things that we need so that we can get better as basketball officials every Friday, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. And then occasional Mondays, we have a Masterclass. 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern, and we cover a specific topic, and it launches us on a topic for the week. So next week, on Monday, September 13th, we will begin Technical Foul Week, and we will have a presentation on technical fouls in National Federation of High School Basketball Rules, something that all officials can tighten up their game on and their understanding of the various technical fouls and what the proper administration of those are. If you are new to the show, new to the live stream, put your name in the chat. Let me know where you officiate from. I'd be pleased to meet you. My name's Greg Austin with thebetterofficial.com. We craft video to help basketball officials get better and take control of their officiating career. We live stream every Wednesday and Friday. Pleased to have you on the live stream today. If you're watching on the replay, which is only available for a brief time, if you're watching on the replay, put your name in the chat, in the comments rather, and I'd be pleased to meet you. I review all comments on all of our videos that we produce. As always, any point along the way, you have a comment on a play, comment about the show, comment about my beautiful black shirt, whatever. Put your comment in the chat. Put your voice in the game so we can all get better together. All right. Tremendous. I am on fire with my sequence here, and I'm ready to go, and I'm ready to get the show started. As the season approaches, we need to tighten up our rules knowledge and understanding. Let's look at plays. Let's get started today on the show. Stick around. Greetings and welcome back to another episode of the Basketball Rules Expert, the show where we take National Federation of High School Basketball Rules, we lift them off the printed page, breathe life into them, simplify, clarify, amplify, because we need to take them with us onto the basketball court because that's where it's most important. Greetings again, everybody. My name is Greg Austin with thebetterofficial.com. I've been a high school basketball official here in the San Francisco Bay Area for over a decade. I understand the rules of high school basketball to a very high level. This show is all about helping you on a journey to becoming a basketball rules expert as well. Have to allow me a moment to give a heartfelt thanks to our show supporters. Alex Binder, Jeff Glynn, Jonathan LaMattina, Chet Cooper, and Daniel Huffman. Much appreciated and much love. You want to support the show? You can always buy us a coffee. There'll be a link in the show notes below. All right, today we are taking a look at some miscellaneous plays. We're just going to rip through some miscellaneous plays, and so that we can adjudicate plays properly when they face us, when we are faced with the play scenario when it occurs on the court, right? Having rules knowledge, right? I passed the test. I got a 98 on the test. That's fantastic. That's fantastic, right? But the key moment of success is when we pass the test on the court, right? We're busy. Our mind is going in a game scenario, right? We are faced with a situation and it's no longer a text-based situation. Now it's like, okay, this kid did that and then this kid did that and the coach then did this, and we have to like sort all this stuff out in real time, where we're also reviewing what just happened in the past. And having that success on the court is really what it's all about, right? We have to adjudicate plays properly on the court. So with that, let's get started today. No, let's not get started today. Indianapolis. Zach Burns is in the house. Les O'Connor, Papa Les, joining the show. Yeah, jump. Let us like the show, share it, drop it over on the Facebook page, officiating group page while we're watching the live stream. There should be a share button down below on the YouTube, right? There's a share button there. You can just put it over onto a Facebook page for your local association or one of the national Facebook pages as well. Okay. I've done that. Give me just a moment to pause here. All right. And I'm going to say, let's get started today with our very first play scenario. A1 is dribbling in the front court. B1 reaches and deflects the ball, which hits A1's knee and caroms into the backcourt. A1 runs to the backcourt and is the first to touch the ball. The officials give the approved NFHS signal for a deflection and rule this a legal play. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Right? So we have a backcourt play to start. Player is dribbling the ball in the front court. A1, dribbling the ball in the front court. Defense deflects the ball, caroms off A1's knee into the backcourt. A1, first to touch and collect the ball in the backcourt. A very common scenario, and this is a backcourt violation by rule. When adjudicating backcourt plays, we have to be aware of team control, when it starts, when it ends, etc. That's a key component. Once we have team control on the court, in the front court, and the team is the last to touch the ball in the front court and the first to touch the ball in the backcourt, it's a simple violation by rule. Oftentimes, though, the deflection by the defense can confuse the officials, right? We watch other levels of play, NBA, NCAA men. That deflection in that situation makes the retrieval of the ball in the backcourt legal. But the key components are Team A had team control in the front court. A1 was dribbling the ball, had player control. The ball was deflected by the defense off of A1's knee. They were the last to touch in the front court. They retrieved the ball in the backcourt. They are the first to touch in the backcourt. violation by rule. So in this instance, were the officials correct? Yes or no? No. No, they were not. This should have been a violation by rule. Easy peasy. Vic Horton is in the house. Vic, I hope your training sessions are going well. Vic has a very nicely crafted situation going for new officials in the Sacramento area. We do need better officials. Backcourt violation, easy peasy. Yes, our officials, they always get the first call wrong. Set a very bad tone. Les with fantastic language. No, they were not. Right? Simple call, very straightforward. Our plays today are not going to be rocket science. I'm working on the presentation of the plays. I'm working on the timing of the text and all of these things being more refined and the whole process being better. Right, I want to do that. Yes, okay. We're off to a good start. Oh, I'm excited. All right, our officials are off to a rough start, missing their first call. Let's take a look at our very next play scenario. While making a throw-in near the 28-foot mark in Team A's front court, A1 passes the ball to A2 in the front court near the division line. A2 muffs the ball, and the ball bounces directly into the back court, where A2 retrieves it. The officials rule this to be a backcourt violation on Team A. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Throw in adjacent to the front court. It could be on the sideline in the front court. It could be on the end line in the front court. Throw-in pass is released. Player on the court fails to catch the ball, bounces off their hands, bounces off their head, etc. They touched it, though, in the front court, giving the ball front court status, and then they run into the back court and retrieve the ball, and the officials rule a backcourt violation by rule. We have to remember the components of a backcourt violation. We have to have team control on the court. We do have team control on a throw-in that's only there for the administration of fouls should a foul occur. We need to have player control on the court to establish team control on the court. In this instance, where the ball was inbounded, the player muffed the ball, we have no player control, therefore no team control on the court. The touch, therefore, in the back court, being the first to touch in the back court, is not a violation by rule because one of the elements is missing in determining whether a backcourt violation has occurred. We must have team control on the front court, in the front court, last to touch in the front court, and first to touch in the back court in order to have a violation. So in this instance where the officials ruled a backcourt violation, were the officials correct? No. No, they were not. Our crew. They are off to a rough start. Deep down inside, you know what the crew is feeling? Our crew did great on the test. That's the problem. Our crew did great on the test, Mike. But they could not translate the rules knowledge onto the basketball court where it's most important, right? Sometimes, obviously every official is at risk of reacting to a play. They make a reaction call and not a call that is based in seeing all of the elements of the play and adjudicating the play properly. right? It happens to us all, right? Sometimes our whistle is just a reactive whistle. Why? Maybe your mindset is off or what have you. Yes, we have a very consistent crew, Gerald. Mike Connors, of course, has it right. Jay, what are we saying yes to on that? All right, 2 backcourt calls to get us started. Right. I'm doing all the things, right? I'll be better at this too as well. Okay, our crew, off to a poor start, 0-2 out of the gate. Let's take a look at our very next play scenario. A double personal foul is ruled in the front court near the sideline while A1's try for goal is in flight. The try is successful. Team A has the possession arrow. The officials score the goal, report the double foul, and award Team A an alternating possession throw-in near the spot of the foul. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Right? Off ball, double foul. Maybe 2 players positioning for a rebound. Maybe 2 players just engaged off ball in some fashion. Try is released. Foul is ruled. Ball enters the basket. We have a double foul. Great. Our rules knowledge. We have to have it with us on the court. In a double foul, what is the resumption after we report the foul? What is the resumption? Should we score the goal in this instance? Did the foul cause the ball to become dead? These are the questions we have to know, and we have to take them with us onto the basketball court. We have to have them available, right? Easy peasy. I know that. In this instance, a double foul does not cause the ball to become dead. Therefore, the result of the try shall count. We are going to score the goal. That's the case. When we have a double foul, double fouls always go to the point of interruption, right? If in the absence of the foul, what would be the point of interruption? The ball entered the basket, end line throw-in for the opponent with the ability to move. A non-designated spot throw-in would be the point of interruption. That's the adjudication on this play. It's not the spot nearest the double foul. It's not using the possession arrow. In this instance, we could possibly have a possession arrow scenario if there was no team control. If the try missed, then we would have no team control and we would need to go to the possession arrow. But in this instance, the ball went in. The proper adjudication would be an end line throw-in for the opponent after all scoring and reporting was completed. So in this instance where the officials went to the arrow for the resulting throw-in, were the officials correct? No, they were not. Yeah.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Our crew is struggling. After any made goal. Absolutely. Right? Simple. Right? And of course, always important to remember you are the new official on the crew, and the veteran official, for whatever reason, mind cramp, hey, we're going to go to the arrow here, and right, we got to step up and put the game ahead of our crew and say, wait a minute, I know the rule here. It's a double foul. We go to point of interruption, right? And that's the other scenario. If we are communicating with another official in an effort to get a play correct, I find the best way to do this is make declarative statements. Simple statements of fact. Partner, we have a double foul. We'll go to point of interruption, right? We score the goal. We'll go to point of interruption. Our point of interruption here is an end line throw-in moving, right? Yes? as opposed to, using more roundabout language, double foul, point of interruption, right? If those are the key elements of our communication, then we have a better chance to communicate effectively in that situation and give our partner potentially a way out of the situation without just, yeah, thank you. Correct, right? That's the response we'd want. Randy says that we got to throw our crew a softball. I hope so. Come on, crew. All right. Boy, oh boy, our crew is struggling, but let's see if we can get the next one right. Let's take a look at our next play scenario. A1 is disqualified for receiving a fifth personal foul. Later in the game, A1 re-enters the game as a substitute. The officials recognize it at the first dead ball after A1 re-entered the game. The officials rule a direct technical foul on the head coach of Team A. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? So we have a player who's disqualified for their fifth foul. If they were also disqualified for a flagrant technical or a flagrant foul, or had received two technicals, but by whatever method they have been disqualified. Later in the game, the player re-enters the game, and when the crew recognizes the situation on the court, the crew assesses a direct technical foul on the head coach. Our crew has gotten one right. Pressure's off, right? This is a correct adjudication of the play. If a disqualified player returns at the National Federation of High School Basketball level, that is the responsibility of the head coach. This is a direct technical foul on the head coach when recognized, right? So the player had entered the game, right, and had played basketball, and then during the first dead ball, the crew recognizes. But when we assess technical fouls, we have to know, of course, the window of opportunity to assess a technical foul. And this is a technical foul that is applied when discovered. So it is discovered. Technical foul on the head coach, 2 free throws by any player or eligible substitute for the opposing team, and the ball for a division line throw-in. So in the end, in this instance, where our crew said technical foul on the head coach, was the crew correct? Yes, they were. Oh boy. Randy, there was our softball. Pretty straightforward. Yay! Hey, Leroy, how are you? Excellent. All right. I go here. Yeah, I got this. I got the sequencing down. All right, our crew's improving. Let's take a look now at another play scenario. Upon returning to the court prior to the third period, the officials are informed that the official scorer took the book with them to the locker room at halftime. The officials rule a team technical foul on the home team and begin the third period with free throws. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Crew is out on the court, awaiting the start of the second half. Opposing coach comes over and says, hey, ref, they took the book with them to the locker room. That happened to me once and I got a technical foul. You got to go technical foul here. They cannot take the book to the locker room. Right? Imagine the scenario. It's like, this is not something that happens every day. And knowing the correct adjudication may be a challenge. We may have to get together as a crew. We may have to recognize what is legal at other levels of play, etc., and get to the correct ruling by National Federation of High School Basketball Rules. Imagine this scenario, though, and it's easy to see how, okay, wait a minute, I'm not, I'm getting ready to officiate. I'm not ready, I'm not officiating while I'm standing. I'm observing players, the clock, whatever's available on the court to observe at this point. This can be challenging. And there's a key thing we have to remember that I'll get to in just a little bit. So in this situation, NFHS has a case play, and it says this is not something that is penalized by rule. If the officials feel that the book was compromised in any fashion, maybe a little erasing going on at halftime, then they can go to the visitor book and make that the official book. Right? We would certainly want to verify the accuracy of the book. We may need to get coaches together and say, so we have a situation here that you cannot, Coach A, you cannot remove this book to your locker room. That is not allowed by rule. Coach B, unfortunately, there's no penalty in this instance, and we will resume with an alternating possession throw-in without penalty. I'm going to check the accuracy of the book, and I'm going to make a determination about which book we're going to use going forward. Coach A, you should not do this again in the future, and I will be notifying my supervisor of this behavior, or whatever. You could throw something in like that. Okay, and then we go through, we verify the book, and we're ready to move forward. Also, so here's the deal. Remember I said we'd talk about a key thing. Imagine yourself, you're out on the court, you're ready to start the second half. This scenario confronts you, right? Your Rolodex of rules references is twirling in your head, right? As a crew, right? In the end, we have made a ruling, right? We are going to assess the technical foul, and that would be incorrect, or we are not going to assess, and that would be correct. But we have to move on. We have to move on from this adjudicating this unusual situation. We make a decision as a crew. We commit to it as a crew. We agree to it as a crew. We inform the coaches. We do that, and then we move forward and put it behind us. Maybe after the game, we're running to the rules book and saying, did we get it right? Did we get it right? But we have to leave it behind so that we can continue to officiate the game. So in this instance where our crew said no penalty, So in this instance where the officials ruled a team technical foul, were the officials correct, yes or no? No. No, they were not. A team technical foul is not the appropriate ruling in this instance. Yeah, where is the Admiral? Where is he? That would be the previous question. So, Mike, on the previous play, if our illegal player commits a foul, it's just basketball or scores goals, right? Let's say they score a goal and immediately thereafter, the horn for the table says, hey, that player shouldn't have been in the game. But they were in the game, and any results of the play would stand. I think there is. There we go, 2-11-11. Got it. Oh, boy. I'm close to having my casebook and rules book available for quick referral on that. All right. Okay. Doing the things. I'm doing the things. All right. Now let's take a look at another play scenario. After Team B has another player foul out, they only have 4 eligible players. In a gesture of fair play, Team A coach says that they will use 4 players as well. The officials rule that they may not do this, and they must have 5 players participating. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? right? A team maybe starts with a limited number of players, have players foul out, and they only have 4 remaining. The opposing team says, I don't want to play against 4. I'll use 4, to make it fair, etc. And the officials say, no, coach, that's not allowed by rule. You must have 5 participating if you have 5 available, right? This is a unique situation, one that we're talking here about the correct rule on the play, right? We could easily see a scenario where, we could. But by rule, a team is not allowed in this instance to play with 4 when they have 5 available. It's a simple adjudication of the play. That is the correct ruling. So in this instance, I did the wrong thing. So in this instance, where the officials told the coach he must play with 5, were the officials correct? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, they were. Our crew is killing it, man. Come on. Everybody who gave up on our crew. How'd you handle it, Randy? We're definitely going to handle this differently at different levels. Let's say we have usually in this instance, you don't have a team that commits the 4th, or that loses a player and is down to 4 ahead in the game, usually. And we could certainly imagine a situation where there's a extreme point differential or something like that. Mike's got the casebook reference, 3.1.1. I suppose I could do something like this. It's not very big. Whoa. I could just drop that on the screen. You're picking nits, Mike. You're picking nits. They've gotten a couple right. Our crews, come on now. Come on. All right. Moving on, let's take a look at our next play scenario. After a made basket and after A1 has picked up the ball for the throw-in, B1 reaches through the boundary plane and slaps the ball out of A1's hands. The officials rule a delay of game warning, admonish B1 not to do that again, young man, then administer a throw-in to resume play. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Now, this show is all about adjudicating the rules according to the rules book, right? So, in this instance, we have a player who has the ball for a throw-in out of bounds. Something that's missing on the play is, after a made basket, we would need to have an official's count in order for the throw-in to have begun, something that isn't always present even in the best of circumstances. But once the throw-in is begun, there are restrictions on defenders. The defender is not allowed to reach through the boundary plane and dislodge the basketball by rule. The correct adjudication would be a player technical foul for that action. In addition, if they had not received one earlier in the game, a delay of game warning would be issued to the team as well. That would be the correct adjudication of the play. So in this instance, where the officials did not take that approach, were our officials correct? Yes or no? No. No, they were not. Come on, crew. Anthony Mayer's in the house. Stan Beckler says no. No. Right. Correct, Les. 100% correct. All right, I'm moving through these questions pretty quickly, and I'm going to continue to do so. Let's take a look at our next play scenario. A1's throw-in pass from in front of his team's bench in an attempted alley-oop to A2. However, A2 jumps too early and the ball passes over his head untouched. The throw-in enters and passes through Team A's basket. The officials rule a violation on the play and resume with an end-line throw-in near the spot where the ball entered the basket. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Right, so a throw-in from the sideline, player throws the ball high towards the basket so that their teammate can catch and dunk the basketball, but oops, the ball went in the basket. The officials rule a violation and resume with an end-line throw-in nearest the spot where the ball entered the basket. Where the ball entered the basket. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? It is a violation to throw the ball into the basket during a throw-in. That is a violation by rule. Our officials were correct in that part of the adjudication. It's also a violation for a throw-in to become lodged between the basket and the backboard. It is not a violation for a player to throw the ball off of a basket or backboard during a throw-in. Sometimes that's a reaction play that officials make. It's like the ball hit the underside of the backboard. Oh, they put a whistle on the play, right? We want to process those plays and get them right. So that would be a legal play. But in this instance, the ball entered the basket. That's a violation by rule. Now, what kind of violation is it? That's really important because the administration of what happens next is based on the type of violation it is. For a throw-in violation, we resume play with a throw-in to the opponent at the spot of the throw-in, always, right? So if we have a situation where a player releases a throw-in pass and it goes untouched and exits the court way down at the other end of the court, we come back to the original throw-in spot because it is a throw-in violation. So in this instance, we have a throw-in violation. What are we going to take with us onto the court? It's always back at the throw-in spot. So in this instance, where officials said we're going to resume with a throw-in under the basket, as a result of the violation, were the officials correct, yes or no? No. No, they were not. Almost, but no. The Zooch was pulling for the crew. So close. Now, is this a crime against humanity to have the wrong throw-in spot? Almost 99% of the time, it is no big deal. But always when we review plays, it's always great to review them in the extreme. This is a tie game with 2 seconds remaining. That makes a difference in whether we have an end-line throw-in here or a sideline throw-in. It could make a difference. So, a lot of times we come across plays and the play is like, come on, man. Does it really matter if they did it on this side of the lane, that side of the lane, sideline throw-in, end-line throw-in, etc.? I mean, it matters for accuracy, and that's really important. But, the thing is that we get to end-of-game scenarios, and if we have a looseness in our understanding of how to adjudicate plays, in the end-of-game scenario, it becomes a really big deal. So it's always great if we position our adjudication of plays towards when it matters most in the game. If this mistake by the official occurs and the score is 85-22, who cares, right? But if this is a tournament game, state final, a quarterfinal, section final, the 8th grade middle school championship, and there's 3 seconds remaining, it could be a really big deal, right? So that's what we want our rules knowledge is always gearing us for. There's those key moments and key games so that we can, first of all, have confidence that we're going to adjudicate those plays properly, but of course, adjudicate those plays properly. Well, Randy, good news. We'll be breaking down all the player T, team T stuff in next week when we cover technical fouls. Oh. Hey, wait a minute. If you find content like this valuable, now would be a great time to do all the things. Hit the subscribe button below so you don't miss out on any of our new content. Also, take a moment to hit the notify bell so you don't miss out when we go live, which is at least twice a week in the morning. All right. Now I need to go back. No. There goes my perfect game. Oh, I was rolling. Okay. Hey, let's take a look at our next play scenario. A1 is charged with her 5th personal foul, and upset at herself, she reacts with a loud profanity. The covering official then also charges A1 with a technical foul. The officials rule that A1 is disqualified for getting the 5th foul, and that the technical foul is also charged indirectly to the head coach, since it occurred after the disqualifying foul. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? This play is from our recent series on points of emphasis. This is a point of emphasis for National Federation of High School. I'm going to put a link to the complete playlist up above. But players are not allowed to, they get no pass for unsporting action that's not directed at coaches, players, or the crowd, etc., but only at themselves. They do not get a pass from that. This is a proper administration of a technical foul. It is a player technical on a player who had already received their 5th foul just moments before. The officials say, well, wait a minute, you got a technical after a 5th foul, so therefore that must be on the head coach. That's the rationale. But that is incorrect, because what are we taking with us onto the basketball court? Fundamental understanding of when players become disqualified. A player becomes disqualified when the coach is notified that they have received their 5th foul. So until that moment, they are not bench personnel. Therefore, their actions as a player, as they are still a player, have no impact on the coach. A head coach is responsible for the behavior of bench personnel. If bench personnel commit a technical foul, it is an indirect on the head coach. That's a basic concept we need to take with us onto the basketball court. So in the end, this crew assessed an indirect technical foul on the head coach. Were the officials correct? No. No, they were not. Foul on the player, their 5th. Technical foul on the player, all correct. But the indirect component on the head coach was incorrect by rule. All right. So you notice I have a little star in the corner. That's my cue. That means that's my last slide prior to ending the live stream. I got techniques. Hey, so I'm going to wrap the show here, and then I'll come back and we'll look at a few more play scenarios for the live stream viewers. That's the plan? Right. Okay. Yeah, I got this. Really appreciate you joining the show today. If you are a basketball official and find this content valuable, now would be a great time to do all the things. First thing, number one, hit like. It helps us with the YouTube algorithm, helps get the video in front of more basketball officials. In addition, hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our new content, and the notify bell so that you get notified whenever new content is available and you don't miss out. Allow me a moment to thank our fantastic show supporters, Alex Binder, Jeff Glynn, Jonathan LaMattina, Chet Cooper, and Daniel Huffman. Much appreciated and much love. You can always support the show. I'll put a link above, and you know it. It's going to be in the show notes below. Additional video content is available for you here. I have chosen this video as the one to watch, and YouTube's chosen this one as the one to watch. Make your choice, choose wisely, and we'll see you in the very next one. Take care. Oh, baby, don't mess with him. The Zooch is, he's up in the stands as an observer, and he's like, sad face, sad face, sad face. Usually officials are graded like 1 through 5. What if it was like happy face, sad face on the spectrum, and the meh face in the middle? Right, so that was what the missing component, Mike. Ooh, light bulb. I don't know what that means. Right, easy peasy. Let's see what our next play scenarios bring forth. All right, let's look at our first bonus play scenario. That's not what they bring forward. Okay. I have to be here. Just a moment. All right, let's look at a bonus play scenario. During a throw-in, A1 fumbles the ball inbounds onto the court. A1 quickly recovers the ball while they are still out of bounds. A1 then passes the ball to A2 standing inbounds. The official rules a throw-in violation. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Once a throw-in has begun, that's the key part of the equation, player may not release the ball onto the court and be the first to touch the ball after that happens. If they fumbled the ball and it bounced off an opponent's leg and they were the first to recover it inbounds, it would be a legal play. But in this instance, a simple violation by rule. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? No. No, they were not. Whoop. Wait a minute. I cannot take a call away from our crew. Come on, ref. That's like when you're you're doing a game and it's like the score is extremely lopsided, and one of the players from the team that's just getting trounced, right, scores a goal, and we have a violation that takes away the goal, or your partner rules that they were not in the act of shooting. We're going to go end line, and we wipe the goal. That's very similar to that play. So on this simple play, where the officials ruled a violation, were the officials correct? Yes or no? Yes, they were. Oh man, our crew. Yes. Oh, I was going to take it away from them. Come on, ref. Oh, boy. All right. How about another bonus play scenario? During a designated spot throw-in, A1 fumbles the ball that rolls several feet away. A1 leaves the designated spot, retrieves the ball, returns to the original throw-in spot, and releases the ball just prior to the 5-second count ending. The officials rule this to be a legal play. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? So in this play scenario, the designated spot throw-in, the ball is presented to the thrower. They are holding the ball. At that point, they fumble the ball. They go and retrieve it off the court in the out-of-bounds area and return to the designated spot and then release the throw-in pass. It took some time, right? The official was counting, but they got back to the spot in time and released the throw-in pass. The officials rule it to be a legal play. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? No, this is a throw-in violation by rule. Key components: has the throw-in begun, right? If didn't happen on this play, but if the official bounces the ball to the thrower and they fumble the ball either onto the court or out of bounds, the throw-in has not started. We need to know when the ball is at disposal of a player at any point during any of the restarts, throw-in, free throw, when is the ball at their disposal by rule? If we know that, in this instance, when we hand the ball to the thrower and they hold the ball, it is at their disposal. When we bounce the ball to a thrower and they catch the ball, it is at their disposal by rule, and the throw-in has begun. In that instance, the player is not allowed to leave that designated spot for any reason, right? It's a designated spot throw-in. They have a 3-foot area. One of their feet must be above that 3-foot area. So if the 3-foot area is my shoulders and they move like this and 1 foot is here and 1 foot is here, that's legal. They can move all the way over to here. 1 foot is over the 3-foot area. Everything's good until the throw-in pass is released. So in this instance, unfortunately, the player did not do that. Were our officials correct in ruling this to be a legal play? No. No, they were not. This is a throw-in violation by rule. Ball would go to the opponent at the spot of the throw-in. Yeah. There's some. I'm missing some wording here. A1 fumbles the ball that rolls several feet away. Our brain could say, well, wait, that means it's on the court, or that, it's the unanswered question, a poorly written question, right? One of the things we see in questions writing is when we have a really good understanding of the rules is it's the poor wording of the play. Because you've left a window open here for misinterpretation, you left a door open here for misinterpretation with the language used, right? The other thing is, I was listening to NBA official discuss how when you're presented with a rules scenario, to make a ruling on, is don't read things into the play. That's something we're all guilty of potentially doing, is reading things into plays. Just because it's top of mind, we're discussing it in a previous play, etc., and we're sort of carrying some baggage. We're presented with a play, and we add some attributes to the play that aren't there, right? We're always at risk of doing that. Yes, we are all at risk of doing that. Me, number one. Jukabeat says yes to what? I don't know. Okay, I think I've got one more play scenario, but let me set it up. All right, one more play scenario for the road. During an alternating possession throw-in, During an alternating possession throw-in, let's say the throw-in pass is released by A1, B2 intentionally extends a leg and deflects the ball. The officials rule a kicking violation and resume with another alternating possession throw-in. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? All right, we've had a held ball situation on the court. We are resuming with an alternating possession throw-in. A1 has the ball for the throw-in, releases the throw-in pass. As we often see defenders do, B1 on the court extends a leg and kicks the ball on the throw-in. Officials rule a kicking violation and resume with an alternating possession throw-in. Makes sense, except that a violation has occurred. We had an alternating possession throw-in. During the throw-in, a violation has occurred by the opponent. The violation is penalized, and the resulting throw-in is a throw-in for the kicking violation. It would be at the same spot, or a spot nearest the kicking violation, but the resulting throw-in is not an alternating possession throw-in. So what happens to the arrow, right? The arrow was pointed to Team A. They were awarded a throw-in. They attempted a throw-in. A violation occurred, and we're going to have a subsequent throw-in for the violation. What happens to the arrow, right? An arrow is not changed unless the throw-in is completed by rule, or if the throw-in is not completed by rule. So if a foul occurs during an alternating possession throw-in, or a violation by the opponent occurs, then the arrow will not change. So the arrow should not have changed in this instance, and the resulting throw-in was not an alternating possession throw-in. So in this instance, where the officials ruled that it would be that, were the officials correct, yes or no? No, they were not. The arrow does not change. The resulting throw-in is for the violation itself. We may need to do some communication in this instance because our table is going to be confused. Maybe our coaches are going to be confused. And maybe our partners are going to be confused. So we just need to maybe take a little moment and do some communicating in the game to get this play right. Yeah. When the assignment comes out and this crew is, you're assigned with this crew, Zooch, you are, yeah. Okay. All right. So I almost had a perfect game on my switching. Let's see. Oh, what's this? Another bonus play. On jump ball to start overtime, B1 is positioned on the center circle. After the ball is tossed, but before it is touched, B2 runs through the circle to a spot she anticipates the ball to be batted to. The officials rule a jump ball violation for breaking the plane of the cylinder prior to the ball being touched on the jump. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? This is a play from our recent Jump Ball Week. I'll put a link above to the entire playlist on jump balls. So in a jump ball scenario, there are restrictions on jumpers. There are restrictions on non-jumpers who are on the circle, and there are restrictions on non-jumpers who are not on the circle. In this instance, we have a player, B2, who is on the center circle. By rule, they are not allowed to break, not the plane of the circle, but rather the cylinder, the imaginary cylinder of the circle. They would not be allowed to break that with a foot, right? Obviously, players can have their hands that are potentially doing that. So this player, anticipating, oh, you're going to tap the ball over there. I'm going to run through the circle and be there when the ball comes down, and we'll get the ball off this overtime jump ball, right? A smart move if it wasn't a violation by rule. But indeed, it is a violation by rule. So in this instance where the officials ruled a violation, were our officials correct? Yes. Yes, they were. Way to do it, crew. All right, one more jump ball play scenario. On a jump ball to start overtime, jumper B1 steals the tip by contacting the tossed ball before it reaches its highest point. The officials rule a jump ball violation on B1 and award the ball for a sideline throw-in to Team A. When the throw-in starts, the arrow is set to Team B. Oh, come on. Come on, ref. I got 3 sets of buttons. Sometimes I press them out of sequence. All right, fantastic. So, to end the show, our crew, were they correct? Absolutely 100%. 100% correct by rule. Oh, thank God. Thank God. They brought their average up. Yeah, Billy Mac's been missing. Yes, our crew. Whew. I feel good. I feel good. I feel good for the crew. Okay. Okay, Mike's got a bonus scenario. How can I make that stay? Let me do that. Bonus viewer scenario. What if thrower A1 releases the throw-in pass and the ball strikes the boundary line and goes onto the court where it is caught by A2? Excellent play scenario. I can stretch this out. So what we have is thrower has the ball for a throw-in. The throw-in has begun. The restrictions of the throw-in has begun. They release their throw-in pass, and the ball contacts the boundary line on a bounce pass as it's being passed on the court. Do I have that correct? Where it is caught by A2. Okay. Well, the key component there, of course, is that the throw must be released directly onto the court. So we're not allowed to throw a bounce pass that bounces out of bounds. So we need to know the attributes of a boundary line, whether that boundary line is inbounds or out of bounds. Oftentimes during throw-ins, there's confusion about the status of that, in that throwers step on the boundary line and officials react. Oh, you stepped on a line. That's a violation. But of course, it's not a violation for a thrower to step on a boundary line. It's a violation for a thrower to step onto the court. So understanding the difference between the boundary line and the court, which begins on the inside edge of that boundary line, is the deal breaker there. So obviously in this instance, our thrower has not thrown the ball directly onto the court, but rather on the out of bounds area. This would be a throw-in violation by rule. I hope I got it right. Mike Connors. If we apply that logic, we'd probably end most of our shows about 2 minutes in. Oh, fantastic. But I am going to end the show, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to go here, right? And this is going to allow me to end the show automatically. If you note, right down here, there's a little timer to help me because it's automatically going to go to the end screen sequence. So thanks everybody for joining me today, helping me work through the variables and getting the show much more buttoned up. I think we did a great job. The questions weren't great, but we'll see you in the next one.